Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Super Lorcana World. One-stop shop for Lorcana. I figured I'd wrap up the week with a nice Facebook post I came across. As someone that is into the card games and the buying and the selling and the investing, all vendor like long-term, short-term, this post really spoke to me. So I want to dive right into it, dive into what the community thought about this post, and then I'll be giving my thoughts as I go. Again, if you like this content, let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. That would be super cool, and I'd really appreciate it. Most of you that watch these videos are not subscribed, by the way. So if you really could hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Will Lorcana be successful in the long run? Who knows? But for us veteran CCG players with decades in the hobby, we're happy to show you a mountain of dead card games and worthless rares, exclusives, and foil cards. It's very likely these enchanted rares we're holding will be worth a fraction of what they are today in 5-10 years, so I'd be real careful if this is collecting is any more than a hobby or a fun game to play. If it's your long-term investment plan, please just don't. Put the money you could spend on boxes into an SP 500 fund instead. My friend will be more than happy to show you worthless boxes of the hottest games like Star Wars CCG, Star Trek CCG, LTR, and many more hot properties that appeared to be good bets. Apart from Magic the Gathering, most of these games end in a really ugly fashion with declining player bases, overproduction, losing the IP license, quality decline, and so many factors. So, let me give you this guy's points here. This guy thinks it's smarter to invest your money in actual investments. This guy has seen card games fail, which is true. There are card games that have just failed. And he raises some interesting points, such as declining player bases, overproduction, losing the IP license, quality decline, and so many other factors. Well, let's start with what we have here, right? Declining player bases. If anything, the player base is improving. So right now, that's not a problem. Overproduction, right now, I'd argue that's not a problem at all. Because set 1 was so limited that it's still going to be a collector's item down the road. Unless this game crashes and burns. That's always a risk. Losing the IP license, I don't think Ravensburger is going to lose it. That's my opinion. They've been making games like this for a while, so I think they're fine. Quality decline, that's just Ravensburger needs to be smart about it, and some other factors. So we'll come back to this main post after we've heard what the community has to say about it. Some guy comes in here and says, I mean, they're playing dead TCGs that have ultra rare exclusive cards that are worth more now than they ever were when those games were in print. And then the guy who made the post says, true, but I'm doubtful that it has a better payout than an index fund over 15 to 25 years. Which is a very interesting and appropriate reaction to it. We have someone here saying, I like Lorcana because of the game and the beautiful art. I'm happy if they just become art pieces in the future, which is fine. That's a beautiful thing. We have some comments here. Everyone wants to hold on to sealed product now, too, with the expectation that it'll be 10, 20 times value someday. All those old cards are valuable because people didn't immediately slab them upon opening. And Brian responds here with only 3,000 worth of printed, which ensures it maintains its value. Ravensburger is not on that path, except for D23, which someone correctly said, right? Now, Ravensburger is printing some product into the ground. Like set 2, for instance, it's into the ground. I'm sure set 3 will follow suit. But set 1, not so much. And the D23 stuff is really, really true. Those sealed collector's packs of D23 promos, that will be worth a lot of money. That will be. Then we got someone coming in saying, you sound wicked salty. It's a tradable and collectible card game. Nothing will be a new Magic, but Pokemon has blossomed and Disney's IP is bigger. The stock market or crypto market can burn you too. Personally, I think Lorcana will stand the test of time. And then they just have a conversation back and forth. Yeah, anything... Okay, in the world we live in, anything can fail, right? If we have a recession, stock market to a certain extent is fucked, as we all know. And if you don't know that, well, I'm not going to get into the details on this video. There are other channels that do that, and I don't have the patience to talk about it right now. Anything can die. Nothing in this world lasts forever. It's all about riding the wave. That sounds really depressing, but it's not meant to be. It's just a true statement. And then a couple more comments here. I feel like it's a very biased opinion, and Disney is a whole other franchise than all those you try to compare it to. I feel this game will be around for a while, and I don't think it'll be rival any other major TCG titles, but I don't think it's see it fading away. Okay? Disney pins go for a lot of money, and D23 is like 10K. The game will survive as long as Ravens cares about its longevity, and someone else just says, I'm just buying the cards for Disney in general. I doubt I'll play much. Alright, so going back to the original post here, what are we thinking? I think it's always good to have diversity. What do I mean by that? Me personally, I have multiple jobs, multiple sources of income, and I have stocks that I'm invested into, as well as card product, sealed product for Pokemon, for Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of Magic. I'm not super big into Magic, just never got in on time, and now Lorcana and Digimon to a certain extent too. Like, I like to diversify my portfolio of assets just because, one could crash, but not everything will crash at the same time, probably. It is possible. It would be an anomaly, but the odds are that that would not happen. I don't hate this guy's idea. Put it in an S&P 500 fund instead. Like, if you guys are just investing for the sake of investing, there are resources out there that will help you invest money and make money off your money. You don't necessarily have to go the card game route. You can just do tried and true investments. Now, millions of people have been burned by investments. This is just a known fact. Some people have lost everything because an investment went south. But on the opposite end, some people have gained the whole world because their investments exploded, right? So it's all about comfort. That's why I'm not telling you guys what to do on this topic, because it all comes down to your personal comfort zone, right? If you guys want to invest in Lorcana, I've given you guys my recommendation on what to invest in. You can invest in the original set 1 booster boxes or the these things. I actually found one of them anyway. One of these things, the 100th anniversary Disney collector's editions. I think these are good long-term value things. Set 1 booster boxes too, good for the long-term value. Because it's the first stuff, and that thing because it's Disney 100. And I'm also a big believer in the D23 cards if you can get them at a good price. Because those cards will never be printed again. And it's that simple. So, and in the video there, it's a very illuminating perspective to have someone come along and say, just invest in real investments. I mean, this guy really isn't wrong. Anything can happen, but, if you're unsure of what you should do, there are financial advisors out there, accountants out there, that are just looking for investment advice, right? And they'll tell you what you should do based on your comfort level, right? Everyone's comfort level is different. Your comfort level will be different if you're making $40,000 a year, and it will be different if you're making $100,000 a year. So there's no one approach that can be applied to everyone indiscriminately. Always do your research and always be careful. And if you have like a few $100 lying around, and you want to buy a couple first set booster boxes for a good price, or a couple of those D23 things, I don't think that's a bad idea. And if you can wait a little bit, some years, you could get rewarded. I think you will. I don't see this game going anywhere. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think about this honest money discussion? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!